Hey everybody, I've had some questions from some of my viewers to touch on currencies a little bit more. So I figured I would just start by doing a cyclical video on a dollar index. Okay, reason I'm wanting to do this video on this now is because the dollar index is one of my commitment traders setups for longs this week. So actually, the positioning in a lot of the major foreign currencies has been for shorts for the last couple weeks. And interestingly, we haven't got any triggers. Well, we did get one on the Australian dollar, and it got stopped out. But we have short setups on a number of currencies for weeks. And what I've really been wanting to see is the dollar index give me the same trade in the opposite direction. So basically, in other words, longs for the US dollar, because the other markets have been set up for short. So now I really like the fact that I see both of these in the same direction. So now we're going to look and see, what do cycles have to say about the dollar index. So I'm going to start with the decennial chart. So this is the decennial pattern. So all years ending in 4, the computer put into the trend line here to give us this annual decennial pattern. So we can see sometime mid-September a cyclical up move to early October. Okay, now the one thing I also like is that right now we also have an 85% annual predictable zone. So basically from September 19th to October 9th, in the last 20 years of price data, this is an up move 85% of the time. Combine that with a decennial cyclical low and the fact that we're set up for longs on the commitment of traders suggests to me we're going to have a decent move up in the dollar index. Okay, so now I'm going to take a look at the intermarket analysis. What this is I asked the computer to find the most similar year in price action for this market. And what it found was that there's a 60.9% correlation between this year's price action and the price action from 2001. So, or for September 1st, 2001. So you can see here, it's kind of crazy how closely this is calling general market bottoms and highs. And what we see here is based on this similar composite, this is high probability of an up move in this market in general up until February, which would be kind of wild. But that's not for me or you to kind of ponder about it, whether or not it's set up and whether or not we're triggered long on this market. So here is another really interesting thing for the dollar index. This is a blend of the 51 month and the 580 day cycle. And what we see is that this is a major cyclical low point for the US dollar. So it called some decent highs and lows here. I was off on that, but in general, not bad. Not bad. Worth throwing into the mix for looking at, not trading this, but the fact that we are set up for longs on the committed traders strategy suggests that sometime here, if we get a confirmed change to the upside via an entry trigger, then I think this actually looks pretty good for a major bottom in the dollar index. And right here, this is a blend of some more short-term cycles. And what we see here is a blend of the 115 day, the 80, and the 20, and I guess it's more like 21 day cycle. We can see that there is a cyclical low sometime here lined up, and generally going up until mid-October, and then putting in decently significant low here sometime mid-November. So I'm not too worried about what's happening over here, and we're just kind of more so focusing on, does this support the commitment of traders idea to go long? And I would say it does. We have the decennial pattern with the high annual predictable zone probability of 85% of an up move here. That's solid. Then we also have this very similar price year composite to 2001, suggesting a decent up move here for the dollar. And then, of course, this more long-term cycle bottom sometime around right now. There's a lot of things suggesting that the commitment to trader strategy is actually on the right track of looking for longs here in the dollar. So if this was helpful to you, I would appreciate your support here on my channel. If you have any questions about any of these sorts of topics to do with cycles or the commitment of traders, or any of the entry techniques, you just can feel free to give me a message. I'll be happy to help. And I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. I know I've been enjoying mine, and I wish you guys a great week ahead, and good luck and good trading.